what is digital addiction? Even I did not know this term till 3 years back. But when patients started coming to me, especially children, where I could see that they are constantly stuck on their phones. And whenever I used to travel by bus or train, I used to see that people are constantly using their mobiles. No one is looking up and even talking with one another. I think you also must have experienced this. So when I started reading about it, I read so many articles on that, research articles, um, studies, and I started realizing that this problem is becoming like very severe and grave. And as we progress ahead, as the technology progresses, this is going to be a very big problem in coming future. So digital addiction is nothing but a behavioral addiction where people get addicted to digital platforms or digital devices. Digital platforms like social media, online shopping, or gambling, or gaming, and digital devices like smartphones. So people can get addicted to either smartphone or on their laptops, or even TV. So TV also comes under digital addiction. So now in digital addiction, why it is important? Because it starts affecting your health, not only your physical health, it starts affecting your mental health and also your social health, where the person who is addicted can actually go into isolation and spend hours online, but will avoid socialization and spending time with family, spending time with spouse. So all these things will actually amount to a bigger problem. Now, what are the types of digital addiction? Where we have seen internet addiction disorder is a common or general term under which other addictions come, like social media addiction, gambling addiction, gaming addiction, online shopping, pornography, and compulsive information seeking, where people just go online to seek some or the other information, where they are constantly looking for something online. When we talk about statistics, it's like I have seen a 3 or 4 year old child also getting addicted to digital platforms and digital devices. So from a very young age, people, especially parents, they give devices, either tablets or phones, to children, and then they get addicted to, or they get dependent to see some rhymes or videos on those digital devices so much that they stop eating, they don't want to play, they don't want to have a free play, and then it gets into addiction. And digital platforms are so stimulating that even as I mentioned, even a 3 and 4 year old child can get addicted. Talking about statistics, recent study in 2019 on children between age 9 to 12, they saw that around 13% children were at risk. So it's like 1 in 8 children are at risk. It was in 2019. After that, the lockdown happened, and now it might have increased even more. So on an average, around 13 to 15% of the population, especially younger population, is addicted to digital platforms or digital devices. And it can increase further because our dependency on technology is increasing more. So now, when I talk about digital addiction to people, they actually ask me, are there any brain changes when, a person is addicted to digital addiction, like we see in substance addiction? So yes, neurologists and people have also done researches where a person who is digitally addicted shows changes in brain in some areas, especially in frontal lobe, where actually our organization and planning and major thing which we do happens. There is loss of gray matter, and there is atrophy seen in brain. Just like substance addictions, dopamine is increase. There is increase in dopamine secretion whenever a person is using digital platforms or digital devices. So it is not that it is just an addiction where people have come up with, but there are actual brain changes happening because of this addiction. So now when I also talk to parents, they tell me or they ask me that who are at risk, who all can get into this addiction. So I say everybody can get into this addiction, because as I mentioned, a 3-year-old 4-year-old child can get into addiction, and even a person who is in their geriatric age group, they can also get addicted. When to seek help? So when do you realize that okay, I have to seek help for this addiction? There are some symptoms which you have to pay attention to. If a person is completely preoccupied with a particular device or a particular platform, then obviously you need to check with a professional. Along with preoccupation, there might be hiding and lying to family members, where even after asking, they might hide their usage or they lie about their usage. Okay, we have seen that people also are constantly thinking about getting back to these digital devices. So even if they are eating, but they will finish like they're eating fast, and then they'll get back to their digital devices. So constantly thinking about getting back online, constantly thinking about using that device again and again, or avoiding family, avoiding spouse, avoiding friends, isolation, all these symptoms you have to look at and observe. Also, we have seen that especially children who are addicted, they lose interest in studies, they lose interest in their academics, and then they are more into using these digital platforms and digital devices. Also, whenever they get time, they get stuck to phone or tablets. One more thing which we have observed is withdrawal symptoms. Just like substance addiction, if a device is taken from their hand, a person who is addicted, if you take their device, or you stop that or you shut the digital platform down, that person gets into aggression, rage. That person can get very angry, frustrated. Or if it's a child, the child can become really sad, irritated. And so these are the withdrawal symptoms, where if you are deprived of those things where on which you are dependent on, they actually get into withdrawal symptoms like getting angry and rage, and the way I mentioned. So these are the symptoms you have to look for. And if you see any of these, it's a red sign. And then you should actually approach a professional and start seeking help. Now, how to seek help is, there are many psychiatrists and psychologists all over the globe. They actually treat digital addiction. So you can, find such professionals and then approach them. You have to approach a psychiatrist or a psychologist who actually deal in these problems, and not any doctor. I have seen personally that children between 9 to 15, and then teenagers like from 13 to 19, they are addicted a lot. We have also seen that the percentage of addiction in this age group is around 48%. Okay, so almost one. So if we consider it as closing 50%, it is actually like 1 in 2 children, they are actually addicted or at risk of digital addiction. And we have seen that whenever we go to a restaurant, and if a couple has come on a date, they are still like on their phones, and they are not communicating with each other. If I see a family, recently I had gone to a restaurant, and I saw that a mother, father, son and daughter, they were sitting on a table, and the father had actually put his mobile and he was watching a match while other three were eating. Okay, so this is how dependency has increased so much. And this has become so scary that even a family going out for dinner is not spending time with each other, and actually they are like stuck on their phones. When I see friends, teenagers who are have gone somewhere, all of them are on their phones, and they are posting something on the social media instead of communicating and conversing with each other. So communication has become a problem because of these digital platforms and digital devices. Even in the house, when when we are talking with our spouse or when we are talking with our family members, we tend to look into our phones and talk. This is called fubbing. So instead of concentrating on focusing on what we are doing, or whom we are with, instead of that we are actually giving importance to these digital platforms and digital devices so much that we have lost the art of communication with ourselves, with others, and with our relatives or friends or family.